How do you get taken seriously if you haven't yet closed your first deal? Because if your current answer is, I just need one win and then everything is going to change, it isn't. Stay with me here though, because this video might save you 6 months of pain and at least one embarrassing lender call. Most new brokers believe that credibility is something that you earn after deals close. So they compensate, they over-explain, they overpromise, they nod aggressively. They chase deals that should have been politely escorted out of the building after the first meeting. And they call it hustle, but it's not hustle, it's fear. It's fear wearing a blazer and a tie. So here's a quiet thing that no one says out loud to these folks. You don't look new, you look unsure. And the market doesn't punish inexperience, it punishes a lack of professionalism. You don't look junior because you're new, you look junior because you're acting new. You're acting like you need permission to be here. And stick with me here, because in a minute, I'm going to cover the 3 steps that allow first-year brokers to get taken seriously on big deals where more experienced brokers are still struggling to break in. And if this already sounds familiar, just DM me or comment broker below and I'll reach out and get you the free checklist on this process so that you can easily cover this hurdle or just set up a free consultation. So here's the reframe that really changes everything. Early credibility doesn't come from past wins. It comes from processes, restraint, and precision. Sponsors and capital providers, they're not out there asking, has this broker closed 100 deals? They're asking, can this person think clearly? Can they screen aggressively? Can they package and place without wasting my time? And do they understand where the market is actually going to say yes and where it's going to say no? You'll see lenders lean forward, lean in when a first-year broker says, this deal has some hair on it, probably doesn't fit your box, and here's why. There's no hype there. There's no begging. It's just rational analysis, and lenders love that. Why does this work? Because credibility fundamentally is not something that you announce. It's something that other people just feel. Credibility is kind of like gravity. You don't need to introduce it. You notice it when everything else around you starts behaving differently. Credibility is inferred. It's not declared. And serious players trust what they see you doing right now more than they trust stories about your past greatest hits. And if you sound like a professional, you get treated like one. And in the next section of this video, we're going to get more tactical. We're going to go over the 3 pillars of establishing credibility, even when you haven't funded your first deal. So let's start off with pillar 1, process over energy. And this is where so many brokers accidentally sabotage themselves. They bring energy, whereas professionals bring process. Process shows up in places that most people ignore. How you intake information, how you sequence conversations, how quickly you push back, how confidently you say yes or no, how clean your analysis is. Think about a pilot. You don't want vibes in the cockpit. You want checklists. No one lands a plane by saying, trust me, I go the extra mile for my passengers and I will invest long hours to make this work for you. You want the pilot who sits there quietly saying nothing, in control, and calmly does what is needed to get the plane safely on the ground. And a broker with 0 closed deals, but a ruthless qualification system, clean placement, they're going to earn more respect than a 5-year broker who just tries to make everything work. Process replaces experience. Professionals don't wing it, they sequence it. And when you control the process, you control everyone's perception of you. So pillar number 2, this is strategic positioning. Most credibility is lost in one sentence. I'm new, but I'm hungry. I'll do whatever it takes. That doesn't sound committed. It sounds desperate. That language positions you as a salesperson, not as a trusted steward of capital. Your role here isn't to convince, it's to screen, to translate, and to protect time. The brokers who get repeat calls early aren't promising outcomes. They're saying, this format won't clear the market. Here's what we need to change in order to move ahead. You're not a waiter taking orders, you're the sommelier who's quietly taking the wrong bottle off of the table. And positioning like this is where so many brokers give away their power. You're not here to convince anyone of your value. You're here to qualify, to package, and to place. Calm restraint signals experience faster than enthusiasm ever will. And if you're looking for the checklist for this process, just DM me or drop broker in the comments below, and we'll get you what you need. So pillar number 3, meticulous execution. Let's talk about what actually seals the deal. And that is the details. It's your deck. It's the numbers. It's the narrative. These are your resume. One sloppy assumption is going to signal to experienced players weak standards. It will signal poor judgment, hidden risk. Sponsors, on the other hand, are going to forgive tough feedback, but they will not forgive carelessness. So let's make this real with a concrete deal. I'm currently working on an $80 million development deal. And after the initial call, the development team sent about 10 documents over 150 pages. I reviewed everything and found 6 material contradictions in them, just numbers that didn't foot. So I went back with a clean breakdown of every issue and told them explicitly that lenders aren't going to fund it in its current form. And I said that I wouldn't move forward until these things were cleaned up. And later that same day, the sponsor picked up the phone and personally called me. He has multiple projects, multiple companies he's running, but he reached out to say thank you for what he called, quote, a slap on the wrist. He said he was going to put new leadership on the project and that they would re-engage as soon as the documents were fixed in the way I requested. What got me in the door for this deal was a referral, but what earned his trust was meticulous execution and honesty. If that deal closes, it's 800,000 to 1.6 million in commission. But none of that comes from my past deals. It comes from acting well, excellent execution, clear honesty. The market assumes that your standards, your quality matches how you perform. And this is how you go about earning trust before the wins show up. You act like a professional. You value process over energy. You position strategically, and you execute meticulously. And you let your actions do all of the selling for you. If you show up like a consummate professional and you consistently deliver value, no one cares what you've done in the past. And if you have a track record, remember, this still applies to you. In today's market, credibility isn't something that you cash in on once. It's something that you have to earn with your performance on every deal. Many of the most respected brokers out there were taken seriously before their first win because they operated like professionals. And soon enough, the scoreboard caught up with their high caliber performance. And if you want help launching or growing your brokerage, just drop broker into the comments or DM me. There's no big pitch here, just clarity, our resources, and a clean path forward. And in the meantime, get out there, give big to your clients and your lenders, and let's make this world a better place.